Hi Gemini and Gemini Rising, here is your horoscope for October 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, eclipse season is behind us, so this is opening up doorways for many of you, because the eclipses that occurred last month had a lot to do with career matters and your home and your feelings. And so this is opening up a doorway with that solar eclipse on the 21st. Many of you may be thinking about remodeling, maybe you're moving, maybe there's something to do with the home environment, some sort of fixing up. But there also could be something to do with a pet, because it's Virgo. Virgo rules animals. And so the next 3 to 6 months, this area of your life is really going to be highlighted. But it also has to do with emotion. So that was all with the eclipse on October 21st. The other eclipse was in the career sector. Maybe something's changing in your job or your business. But this month is all about creativity because the Sun and Mercury are going through your fifth house. This is about having more fun. This is about socializing, laughing, maybe spending time with your children if you have children. And so this is going to be the general theme. But of course, the dynamics will shift the second half of the month as the Sun and Mercury, your ruler, will go into the sixth house, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So if you're a rising sign in Gemini or if you're a sun sign in Gemini, this reading's for you. This is a very general, basic overview using Western tropical astrology, using the whole house system. And of course, it has to be very basic because everyone's birthday under that sign is different and the alignments are different. And so everyone's birth chart is going to be different. So we as astrologers, we take the sun sign, we put it on the first house, and then we see where the planets are falling, and we have a very good idea of the kind of energy that's influencing us. Your birth chart, though, on the other hand, is much more accurate. When you have a new moon or a planet enters a certain part of your chart, it makes a difference. And so if you don't have your own birth chart, you could get one online for free, or you could buy one from my websites, josephpanthony.com or planetswithin.com. I do sell them there under the reports section. Anyway, let's get back to the reading here. And so we're seeing a lot of dynamics here, a lot of focus on your energy on work environment this month. And so Mercury will be switching signs, going from Libra, and we'll be going into intense Scorpio. And that happens at the beginning of the month. Right around the 6th, Mercury enters Scorpio. So now you're back to being busy. You're back to focusing on health matters. There's a level of intensity. I got to get this done. I got to accomplish. I got to go. And so the energy level definitely goes up here quite a bit. With Mercury, your ruler, now in Scorpio, your senses become much more aware. You're much more intuitive. And you're sensing so much more with Mercury in Scorpio. And so this is going to be also about finances and income. Scorpio is one of the signs that represents money. Taurus is the other. And so this is going to be 3 weeks of focusing on work and, getting things accomplished and making money and, getting down to the nitty gritty. Let's put it that way. All right. We also have at the same time the full moon in Aries. This is later on in the day here. The full moon in Aries is going to be at 14 degrees in the 11th house. And so this has a lot to do with friendships, acquaintances, the community. And Aries is the self. You'll be thinking about how you fit into this community. How do you fit into this organization? If you're a part of a charity or some other group, you may be getting a lot of attention because the full moon is bringing up some recognition or notoriety of some kind. Okay, and again, this has a lot to do with communities of some kind or something you're affiliated with. And so this is going to bring up all of that. And so this could involve the work and the daily routine that you've been working on. So keep an eye on that. Now, let's talk about Venus entering Libra on the 13th. Now, she leaves Virgo and now enters the softer side of Libra. Now, Venus rules Libra here in the 5th house. So now from this point forward for the next 4 weeks, you are on a social high because Venus in Libra loves to socialize. It loves beauty. It loves spending money. It loves glamour. And it's the 5th house. So this could be anything from a new relationship or, just loving life or just spending time with your children, spending time with people you really care about. And so this is a great time, for Gemini and Gemini rising or Libras to really enjoy yourself in this area with the Venus going through the 5th house. And so this could be a lot of creativity coming your way. And this is where you might get the urge to change something about your environment or your current surroundings. And because Venus in Libra likes to beautify its surroundings. So keep that in mind. Pluto also goes direct around that same time on the 13th, right there. Now, Pluto's been retrograde for about 5.5 months or so. And now that it begins to move forward, this is in stationary position before it begins to move forward. And so for the next couple of months, Pluto going direct in the 9th house is going to have you looking at the bigger picture and looking at your future. And so this will be a very subtle, change, a subtle nudge that you'll be feeling. And this is about your organizations. This is about travel. This is about education. This is about your religious beliefs. This is about your political beliefs. And the 9th house falls under all of that energy, all those topics. And so Pluto is going to start moving forward, which is going to help out a lot with momentum and drive and, getting things accomplished and really, getting you to focus more on what you want for the future. Okay, so that's going to help out a lot. Then we have the new moon in Libra on the 20th and 21st, which again will highlight this 5th house. And this is why I said earlier with Venus here, this absolutely has to do with other people and relationships and love and your children and creativity. But now the new moon even enhanced that energy even more. And that's going to be at 28 degrees of Libra. So wherever that is in your actual birth chart, you want to focus on that. But the 5th house, once again, it has to do with having fun. It's about enjoying other people's company in Libra. It's about networking and connecting. It's about, things pertaining to your children, if you have children. This is about new creative projects, especially with the ruler of this new moon, Libra. Venus is in that same house. So this is a wonderful time to express joy and love and, just wanting to share your joy with others. And this is going to be setting the stage for that joy in the next 2 weeks from this new moon. So keep an eye on that. Neptune goes retrograde in Pisces. This will be the last time Neptune is going to be in Pisces in our lifetime because it won't return for another 165 years. I doubt any of us will be around then. But anyway, Neptune going back into the 10th house, and here it is with Saturn. It's giving you one last look at your current situation involving your job, your title, your reputation, how people see you. And so this is about really, are you enjoying your job? Are you enjoying the interaction that you're doing? Are you enjoying the people in your life? Are you providing a good service or a product that you're involved in? Are you satisfied at your current position or your title? And so this is all about understanding all of that, because once Neptune and Saturn move out of here, they're going to be entered into your 11th house, and this 10th house will be kind of like a vacuum, where you're not quite sure, and maybe you'll change careers at this point. It's very possible with these two moving out of here. But in the meantime, these retrogrades are going to have you really pondering everything to do with that career of yours that you have right now. And it's all being highlighted this month. The sun enters Scorpio on the 22nd and 23rd, adding a little bit more intensity to your daily routine. As you can see here, Sun, Mars, and Mercury, your ruler, along with the transiting moon, all are in the 6th house. And so this is all about drive, determination, bettering things, intensity for your daily routine. Maybe you're focusing on your health matters. Maybe you're focusing on exercising. Maybe you're focusing on your job or your business. And so all of this stuff is going to be completely highlighted even more so with the sun entering the 6th house. So things definitely start to either improve or, they're dramatically altered in some way that you need to focus all of your attention on it. Okay, because Scorpio energy is very intense. And it's not wishy-washy, it's like all or nothing. And so this energy is going to be there for quite a few weeks, ramping things up. And last but not least, Mercury enters Sagittarius right there in your 7th house of relationships. So talk about conversation and, quick thoughts and sharing thoughts and ideas with others. So as you can see here, the theme is absolutely relationships, work environment, and creativity on some level. Now, Mercury in Sagittarius will probably have you traveling more, or mentally traveling more, or wanting to connect with people even more so. But this time it could be distance involved because of Sagittarius. It's the philosopher, but it's also the traveler. So there's a lot of dynamic here with Mercury going through the 7th house. Okay, but it still involves other people. Anyway, there you have it. Here is the general overview, but if you want to know more, I do an extended version of this in my Inner Circle community, as you can see here. And there I do the weekly astrology overview. And then, of course, we do the Zoom calls every Sunday. And we talk about what's going on. I talk about astrology. I teach the astrology in there. And, of course, the members get to ask me questions, or they send me a chart and I can answer a few questions for them. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to do there, a lot to see, a lot more posts, and a lot of interaction. So consider joining. I left the link down below, and hope to see you in the community. All right, so have a great month, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.